Attention audience, the rest of this evening's updates will be based on your subscriber request. Comment down below in this video for any and every crypto you want me to cover this evening. That's once again, any crypto comment. VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing, and we're going to do a couple of updates here. We got some coin requests last night, but unfortunately I fell asleep before I seen them. And the first one was SGB. I'm not sure what this is. I never looked into it, so we're just going to look at the technicals of it, but it was a subscriber request. And if we zoom out a little bit to the 4-hour time frame, you can see actually this coin's been here for quite some time. Look at that. There we go. So you can see we've had a descending overall overhead resistance, right? If we just put a couple of lines in, you can see we've had major upper resistance up here. It's almost been a falling channel besides two big wicks, right? Liquidation wicks that I call them. And then you have descending support right there. And you can kind of see we've been in a falling channel. And then if we put our volume indicator up on here, you can see we go from the beginning to the end, click that, click, and you can see we're right at the mean of the volume right now. So this is a major resistance support area right here. See that? This whole area right here. We could actually make this our orange, the support zone right there. Darken it up ever so slightly, come back into here, click lock. So there's a major resistance area, and right now you're trying to hold support at it where you seem to have been holding support once, twice, 3 times, right? And if you can break above that, get out of there. If you can break above that, your next major area, what I would watch out for in this coin for volatile big swings in volume and price is up here. This is your next major area of resistance. You can see way up here, right there, and then we'll lock that. And the easiest way to tell, we'll put a couple of price notes up here. Put a price note up here, the current time frame, major upper resistance there, major lower support right here, right where you're at the 2.5 cent level. Then you got your lower support on the falling channel, which is way down there, right, which you don't want to come revisit. And here's what you got. And then you got your upper resistance in the top part of this, price note in the top part of this box, right about where the 100-day moving average in blue would be. So here's what you got going on in the short history of this coin with some brief TA. If you hold this line right here, you can pump all the way up into here, the 100-day moving average of the top part of this volume indicator, right? That's at about 0.0366 cents. But notice right here, if you break that, you have very little to no volume up here. This one's almost got no volume. So what this is telling me, if you come up into here and get over this candle, this stick right here in the volume indicator, you got a free and clear run all the way up to 57 cents, which that would be from where you're at now. It should be a phenomenally gigantic move, right? If we take our industry exclusive measuring tool, that would be 113%. But from where you could have free and clear, nice quick pump, you would go from there to the bottom, and you got about a 58% spread there where you have little to no volume. And that's what I'd be watching out for, as this thing seems like it wants to pump up into here right now with the rest of the market. If you can break over this candle right here in the volume indicator, all of this is free area for the price to just, see how it did it on the way down? It just shot right through it. See that? Straight shot through it. You would have a straight shot back through it and then start consolidating up here if it does get bullish. So that's what I'm watching out for in SGB. Kind of break over the major severe thunderstorm watch. I am in the great state of Michigan, back at home. As you can see, I'm looking at my beautiful big screen TV, right? Well, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's just been put out for extreme eastern and southern lower Michigan, Detroit metropolitan area. Be on the lookout for late day showers and thunderstorms, right? You always got to be aware of those in the summertime. As severe weather comes out of nowhere, comes out of the woodworks, right? Hold on a second, people. I seem to have misplaced something. Oh, I didn't misplace anything. I didn't bring it with me. But that's what I'd be looking at right here. And this localized coin would be, see the, come here, kitty. And the program director has just been acting weird lately. He doesn't know what he wants. You can see, Tiny, you want to make an appearance on the radio? But you can see what I'd be looking at is it's coming up to its major resistance level, which is going to be the major mean of the volume. And as long as you can get on top of that, all this will become possible. So that's what we're watching out for. On SGB, right? And then we had some other coins. VECHAIN, a phenomenal subscriber, asked for some VECHAIN. We'll give you some VECHAIN real quick. And you can see we've talked about VECHAIN, but it's been a minute if we go to the 4-hour time frame. And you can see, look what VECHAIN's been bouncing off of, the bottom part of this volume indicator. And see why I use these volumes right here, the top part. See how this is the major area of volume indicator in VECHAIN, and we have it in white. And look right where you bounce down to, you wick down to it beautifully. And now we're starting to turn around. And this is just like the last one in VECHAIN. If you look at the volume right here, if you break back above this white support zone, you got a free and clear run all the way up into this sneaky little double out here, because notice how this candle starts to get less. So there's less resistance with this one, and it's a 50-50 sell buy. Then the one below it is a 50-50 sell buy, but it's even smaller. So there's even less and less resistance up here in traders to knock the price down, so the price can shoot up pretty quick through here until you come up into this sneaky double where you would have support on it, support on it, support on it, support on it, and then it acted as resistance. So that's what we're watching out for in VECHAIN. You're nipping your head above this volume indicator area right now. And if you continue, and what I would look for this in the immediate shorter time frame is, that's too far, we don't want to do that. It's VECHAIN. If it comes back down right now and back tests the upper end of this white support zone and the 50, the 100, and 200, holds it successfully, you know you're catapulting to the next level if we go to the 4-hour time frame. And you got a free and clear run if you hold this as support and confirm it all the way up into here, this 4.5 cent level. And that is a pretty big pump from where you're at now, right? That's about an 80-90% move. So if you can get some support there in VECHAIN, that would be your next major overhead resistance, is the 0.0488 with a brief resistance at the 50-day moving average, and then the 200 days right there, which is where you would meet. But on the downside, you can see you got some FIB circles underneath here. Get out of there. And that's why we have these FIB circles on here, right? It might not let me click them, and I might not want to fuck with it too much. It always clicks it when you double click, so it's going to come off. This is so stupid how it does this. There we go. You can see underneath, you got, if you fail to hold this and you start to trade back down, your first underneath support would be this green or the orange ring at about 20 cents. And then there's another one right below it at the bottom part of this white support zone at 0.0134. So those are your two underneath supports. 0.0134 is a major underneath support. But on the way up, you're looking at a 0.0488 major upper resistance back into this old supply zone up there in VECHAIN. So that's what you're watching out for right now, to hold the top part of this white support zone in the volume indicator, and that can catapult you up into the stratosphere and maybe make a nice pump. T-Fuel, we also had a subscriber request for. We'll look at some T-Fuel real quick, and I believe I've looked at T-Fuel before. We're in the daily time frame here. Yeah, see, we've looked at it, but it's been a long time, and you can see the old colors that we had on here. And we did have the volume indicator, VIX volume profile. We probably need to extend it out. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of volume up there. You see that? Your mean of the volume, you're almost near, but there's very little to no volume up here. You see that? Very little to no volume. But if we did pump up, you can see you got your major overhead resistance is right in here. Right, see that? This is where you would get rejected if you did pump up. But right now with THETA, with very little volume up there. I suspect if this thing pumps up, you get knocked down by the moving averages, right? This is where I think you're going to get, if this pump continues, I think you would get knocked down right about 15 cents to the moving averages. I don't think you'd get much higher than that because I think this one's got a lot of downside. Even if you came up like that in a big hook-nosed Jew bearish reversal, I think your next major move is all the way down here to the mean of the volume. I think it's just got to come back to there. It's been a long time. That's where all the volume's traded at. So I think the price has still got a lot of room to come down even after a little volatile swing right now. But the 0.15 cents would be your major upper resistance if you're swing trading this to get out. Because I believe it's going to come down after at least to the 0.01595 cent level. And then maybe try a little retest there, right? So that's what's going on there. And if we look at the Bitcoin was actually up earlier today. And now it's starting to trade back down as the dollar was rising a little bit, and this is the Fed blackout week as the Fed's going to be raising interest rates, I believe, in next week, next Wednesday, if I remember correctly. And you can see still what we were talking about last night in this choppy action. I still think you got that Vincenzo watch down here. I think you got to come back down and back test this as major underneath support to see if you can hold it in the bull run, or if it drips below it real quick and then starts acting as resistance, because you can see Bitcoin's resistance and support was up here where you got rejected. So that's what I'd be watching out for on the retest down here. Does it fail and start to trade back down towards this lower support and the price of Bitcoin? Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.